Hi Jade Productions, little following group. I'm gonna try something new with this video. I'm going to make little snips of videos of me while reading Iron Flame, and you will see my reactions, or hear me rant while it's happening, because I feel like I get really passionate after I read it, but then when I'm like, oh yeah, I need to rant about that in my video, but then I'll forget because it'll be like in the middle of the book. Sorry, that's my cat. He's whining for dinner time. It's not dinner yet, but but yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting to rant. I feel like I'm more telling the story than ranting about it. And I'm not sharing my feelings that I'm sure many other readers feel as they go through the book. I have to be honest, I am on page 490 and I have had part of the ending spoiled for me. So I already know Xaden has to tap into the power of the ground to, in the end, save Violet and him, which tapping into the ground power ultimately turns you into a Venin, or makes you part Venin. I'm kind of confused though if, and I hope it clears it up, but I thought Venin were people who tapped into the earth power / the ground power from the ground, and continued to do it, if that makes sense. Not like a one-time thing. I'm a little confused on that. I wonder if any of you are. But that's cutting out my head. But yeah, anybody else ever be reading a book and being completely engulfed in it and loving it, and then a spoiler happens and you don't want to have those feelings, you don't want to have those emotions, so it makes you pause and slow down from reading it? Because I've been at page 490 for a while, and ever since I found out what happens to Xaden, makes me real scared to read on, especially because the third book doesn't come out till sometime in January, where we could possibly get answers. But it also makes me worried that I'm on the second book. Third book comes out, and apparently some people are saying that she said at one point she wanted to make this a 5-book series, which I have nothing against long series. I want to read, what's the Sarah J. Maas series? Oh no! Throne of Glass. There we go. I want to read the Throne of Glass series, and that's multiple books, and I have nothing against that. I've read long book series before. But having to wait after a heartbreak at the end of every book is gonna wreck me. I just need to get motivation to finish this book, and then I can start a new book for my little Jade production crew here. Which it will be Lies of Locke Lamore. I know it's a little shift in genres, kind of. They're both fantasy. But I loved Six of Crows, and I've heard there's some similarities between them, so I'm kind of excited for that. But I will be watching Bridgerton, the 3rd season. Hopefully this weekend I will be able to binge it in one sitting. I've already watched the first 1 and 2. So I can always share I will probably make some videos about it coming up. I will also be making some about Barbie. If we got any Barbie fans out there. But I will be comparing old Barbie to new Barbie. Also, we can talk about Jane Austen movies. I've only read one Jane Austen book. Sorry. But it was Pride and Prejudice. yeah. But we can just give me recommendations in the, in the comments down below about movies or TV shows, books that you want me to maybe read, review, and talk about to see if we have similar views. Maybe just get another perspective on it. But yeah, I would love to know what you guys like. If you like this style of video. If not, let me know. I can change it up. This is all kind of experimental. This is just kind of for me to get my views and opinions out there on books and characters and just all walks of things that I enjoy. But yeah, that's a small little snippet, and hopefully you will see more videos put together for one big video of my opinions as I'm reading the book. So talk to you on a later date. Maybe the same date. I don't know. We'll see. Nothing really new, but I will be a wreck if anything happens to Redoc or Garrick. Also Sawyer too, because they have the best like little quips in here, and it just makes the book. They have such good personalities. I'm terrified to keep reading. Anybody else love it a little bit when Xaden and Violet are fighting and you just all of a sudden get a love confession? And then Xaden being like, oh, you're finally ready to ask me about the deal I made with your mother. Sorry for the lighting being messed up. I'm kind of reading late at night, so there's no natural sunlight coming in my windows. But I have never disliked a character more than Cat. Okay, other than maybe Tamlin, which I'ma call, when I'm doing that series, you'll know the nickname I have for him. It's a popular one on Book Talk. But you'd think a normal human would know what to stay away from. And apparently Liam's death isn't a common sense thing to stay away from for her. I wish I could reach through this book and slap her. I wish Violet didn't stop choking her. Okay? Might sound horrible of me to say, but if you've read this book, she better get redemption, or else she's just gonna be a character that you just can't stand just for the reason of not being able to stand. If that makes any sense. Because yeah, that's all. Okay. Violet just found out Xaden's second signet. And he's like, it took you less than a minute to fall out of love with me. And she goes, my love isn't fickle. Girl. True. She's been in love with Xaden this whole time. Has she admitted it to him? No. She has not admitted it to him. She has kept that to herself and things. But I swear, if she starts doubting again and she's like, how could I love him if I don't know every single thing? Like, I'm a fight. Like, I get self-doubt, don't get me wrong. Anybody in a relationship can understand some self-doubt at some point in time, whether it's hormonal or situational or whatever, okay? But that first book, she was not self-conscious. Like, she was, but it wasn't about, like, I don't know, it wasn't about, like, am I as pretty as, like, Kat, or it wasn't anything like that. It was like she was worried about people not viewing her as strong and powerful. But everybody views her as strong and powerful. So her still getting insecure about some things, it still makes sense, like she's human, yada yada yada. But I swear, if she just said my love is fickle, and then she still keeps going like, you have to prove you love me, like through everything. Imagine if we did that. Like, you get in a relationship and it's like, oh, you have to continue to prove you love me. Now, there's a difference between proving you love somebody and showing that you love somebody. Because proving is like, oh, I won't believe it unless you do a specific type of thing, or you, I don't know. Proving to me, maybe it's different to all of you, is completely different than showing. Because if you stop showing that you love someone, obviously you're going to think that you're falling out of love. But I don't think it's the same thing as proving it. Because proving it, I see as like, it's more harsh. I see it as like a competition, kind of. Like, you have to prove you're strong, rather than just, I guess show and prove are very similar. But like, instead of like, oh, if you lift that proves that you're strong, rather than like, oh, if you can do array of like a multiple different things, like you can prove you're strong in multiple different ways. Like, you can be mentally strong, you could be physically strong, you could be spiritually strong. Like, they're very different than proving that you're strong, because I feel like proving it is different than being it. Does that make sense? Maybe it's too late and I should go to sleep. I'm gonna edit this out. It makes no sense. So I'm getting to the final battle, and they're preparing. I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready. I'm worried for Redoc and Ree and Sawyer and Zayden and Mira. I'm not okay. I'm so scared. This book is gonna wreck me, and I know that. I wish the third book was coming out now, so I would know right away if everyone's okay. I do know how it ends, but that doesn't tell me if Zane's okay. If you know, you know. And I just want to know that he's okay. Also, I take back that Kat was my least favorite character. I think Jack Barlow is my least favorite character. He should have died a while ago. But it makes sense that he didn't. I'm not okay. I feel nauseous. I'm not any farther. But the quote, "We don't die today," I am not okay. I don't know if anybody else gets this way when reading books. I have to finish. I have a few pages left. I'm not okay. This is scary. But this is how you know it's a good book. It makes you feel. And sometimes it's great to not feel. so scared. I'm so scared. But I am not okay. This book is so good. But it will wreck you. I'm not good. I'm not good. I don't even have any words or rants. It's just sad. It's so good. It's so sad. I wish I had the third one to start so I knew everything was fine. Yeah. This is my last reactions to the last couple pages of the book. I'm gonna put music over this, but you can see the emotional wreck. Yeah. Zelda, get out of the camera. You're a good kitty. I didn't think I would care about Violet's mom, but what she does as her last act has me as a wreck, and it makes me understand her and why she did what she did as a mother. And that's been her number one job. In her eyes. And what she does is so sweet. I can't. Just be emotionally prepared if you're gonna read from page 560 to the end. It's such an emotional roller coaster. And if you don't cry at books, you'll be perfectly fine. But obviously I cry. Okay. One other thing I also love all about, okay. One thing I also love about Xaden and Violet's whole relationship is that they are not scared to call each other out on their bull. You know, like when Xaden was starting to become overprotective and keeping Violet in the dark about like Kat's family, I forget his whole name, Therese, whatever, and the promise and all of that, and like the engagement, and like telling her what she could and couldn't do, like you can't go, I'm not willing to risk it, and like all of that, and she tells him you're acting like Dane. Like that got him to act proper real quick. Okay. And then when she's being like, oh, you don't tell me things, you're blah 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 blah, or how she kept that secret about, oh, what'd she keep the secret about? When she was looking into the words and stuff, when she was still back at Basgath and stuff, how he was like, you're keeping the secret after just yelling at me for keeping secrets. Like, basically telling her how she's being a hypocrite. And then also, sorry, my neighbors are acting real weird. And then also when she was like, oh, you're not telling me things, you're not being honest with me. He's like, you're not asking questions that you want to know. And she's like, what do you mean? He goes, ask me about the deal with your mom. And she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, he knew this whole time? Like, they call each other out on their crap, which is fairly actually healthy. Like, you need to be with someone that you feel safe, secure, and comfortable enough with that you can be like, you're being like a jerk right now. And they can look at you and be like, you're being a jerk right now. You know? That makes sense. Hope it does. But yeah. That's just another small little thing to add.